All right, what is up, everybody? Hey, it's been a second for the Texans fans. I think it's been a week or two since I've done a Texans video. Texans got some scary good news coming out of the San Francisco victory. I think this is the first victory of the season where we saw what this team actually is and what they can actually be, and that is something that is scary for the rest of the league. Before we get into that, I want to ask you a question, and I want to tell you a little bit about this channel. First is the question: what is your confidence level in this team? Because I am going to give you some seriously enticing news as we do this video. But what is your confidence level in this team? I don't think it's as high as mine, which is interesting because I am not a Houston Texans fan. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Me, my buddy Chris, we started this channel because we love teams that the national media ignores. We felt like that as Lions fans for years and years, and the Houston Texans are absolutely one of those teams. We'll never cover the Cowboys. I got a brother-in-law that's in Houston, right in Houston. And so, some crazy stuff going on down there, by the way. The bayous, the bodies, wow. I don't know what's going on. Real life Dexter. But anyways, with all of that being said, what's your confidence level? And I'm going to give you some reasons to be excited. And the first one, I'm going to start off just kind of broad, kind of a 30,000-foot view, and then I'm going to bring it down even closer, and we're going to have that conversation. So for starters, you're 3-4, which isn't great, but considering your start, it also isn't bad. There are 7 teams that make the playoffs. If you're looking at the AFC East, right now it would be the Patriots, the Steelers, yes, the Steelers, the Colts, and the Broncos. And then you have 3 other teams that make it as a wild card. If the playoffs started right now, it would be the Bills, it would be the Chargers, and the Chiefs. That's who it would be. All right, so here's why I'm saying you could be in a good spot going forward this year. I'm not saying the road to the playoffs is easy. All right, but there's a couple of things that you will look at amongst teams that have good records. All right, your points different is significantly better than other teams that have a similar record to you. The teams that have losing records are -41, -53, -79, -36, -58, -120, and -77 in the AFC. You are sitting here at +50. All right, that is a better plus minus than the Chargers, who are currently would be a playoff team. It is a better plus minus than the Jags, who sit a game in front of you. All right, this is a team that is better than that. In fact, I will go, I just realized that it was your schedule that was up because my camera thing is not working, apparently. So you're just going to have to take my word for it. All right, but you got to see the schedule, so that's always fun. All right, I also will look at PFF. I've said this before on this channel. Your defense is rated 5th via PFF. You are number 1 in points allowed against. There is an argument to be made. And by the way, it would be a really good argument that you have the best defense in the NFL. The best defense in the NFL. And your offense ranks 18th. And if you can just have an offense that produces middle-of-the-line points, I think things are going to go very well. All right, in your losses, your offense produced 9, 19, 10, 19. That is it. In the wins, you produced 26, 44, and 26. You are looking at a defense that is so good that if you can consistently score 20 points or more, which is not an extremely high bar, and something that you've done 3 of the last 4 weeks, that you will win the majority of those games. You also, when you look at the rest of your schedule, you have 10 games left on your schedule. With a 3-4 record, your hope is to get to 10 wins. All right? 10 wins often gets you in the playoffs, 11 for sure. So you have to go 7-3 or 8-2. In those games, you have, of those remaining games, here are the gimme games. I call them gimme games. You have the Jags. You have the Titans. You have the Cardinals. You have the Raiders. That's 4 wins right there. In the other 6 games, you have Colts, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Bills, and then Broncos. If you can go 3-3 in those remaining 6 games, you are a 10-7 team. If you can go 4-2 in those games, all of a sudden things are looking a little bit better. And in those games, the Broncos are home. The Bills are home. The Chargers are on the road, and the Colts are home and on the road. So, and the Chiefs are on the road. So you have some home stuff. Here's what I'm saying. In the last few games, the offensive line has started to come together. And if you can get that being mediocre, what I saw and what I thought was extremely intriguing was C.J. Stroud played well against the Titans. He played very well against the Ravens, who have since gotten their act together. He played okay against the Seahawks, and he played well against the 49ers. C.J. Stroud is learning that his job is to play mistake-free football. With this offensive line, it's not hold on to the ball and go win a game. Your defense is what's going to win you games this year. If you can improve the offensive line, then next year C.J. Stroud can go out and help win games. But I also want to talk about this. The Texans, if you want your offense to pop, it's going to have to be one of the rookies that will take hold. And you have 3 of them now that, whether it be Woody Marks, Jaden Higgins, could be that guy. But over the last 2 games, that guy has been Jalen Noel, the other rookie wide receiver the Texans drafted. I didn't think Jalen Noel was going to be the guy because of Christian Kirk, if I can be completely honest. But Christian Kirk did what he usually does. He doesn't stay healthy, and that has given him the ability to be better. All right, this is impressive. He was used sparingly over the first month of the season, but over his last 2 games, he has 14 catches. On the year, he only has 14 catches for 162 yards and a touchdown. But 9 of those and 140 of those yards have come in the last 2 weeks against the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. All right, so just so you know, as far as 2-week runs go, this has been one of the more impressive ones amongst rookies. Tet McMillan had a 11-catch, 168-yard. That was weeks 1 and 2. Travis Hunter, 12 catches, 116 yards in weeks 6 and 7. Matthew Golden went for 8 catches, 144 yards in weeks 4 and 6. All right, there's a bye week. All right, that's a trio of receivers who were selected in the first round. He is playing at that level. And if C.J. Stroud has always shown that the more options he has available to throw to, the better it'll be. And that's what you need to see. You need to see multiple receivers and a running back. Because if you have an offensive line that's not playing up to par, you need to be able to get the ball out to any read that you can get it to. That's what the job is going to be of Stroud. And if this offense can just be middle of the road, you have a defense that can take you to the promised land. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the content here. And hit that subscribe button if you want some more of it. Thanks for watching. See ya.